Drodzy pasażerowie, boarding rozpocznie się za chwilę. Prosimy o sprawdzenie, czy posiadacie kartę pokładową. Dziękujemy za cierpliwość. Señoras y señores, la llegada a la cabina comenzará en breve. Por favor, asegúrese de tener su tarjeta de embarque lista. Gracias por su paciencia. Ladies and gentlemen, boarding will begin in a few minutes. Please make sure to have your boarding pass ready. Thank you for your patience.
You need to stop the engines to request ground services.
Kapitanie, rozpoczęliśmy przyjmowanie pasażerów na pokład. Kapitan, hemos comenzado el embarque de pasajeros. Captain, boarding has started. Drodzy pasażerowie, boarding rozpoczął się. Prosimy o naszykować kartę pokładową. Dziękujemy za współpracę. Señoras y señores, la llegada a la cabina comenzó. Por favor, asegúrese de tener su tarjeta de embarque lista. Gracias por su cooperación. Ladies and gentlemen, boarding has begun. Please make sure to have your boarding pass ready. Thank you for your cooperation.
Kalamata Tower. Kazani 251, request clearance to Ionis Daskalojonis. Gate 4.
Kazani 251, clear to Ionis Daskalojonis. Runway 35 left. Fly runway heading climb and maintain 7000. Squawk 0251.
Clear to Ionis Daskalojonis. Runway 35 left. Fly runway heading climb and maintain 7000. Squawk 0251. Kazani 251.
Kazani 251, readback is correct. Report when ready.
Report when ready. Kazani 251. Kazani 251, request taxi.
Kazani 251, taxi to moving point runway 35 right. Via Bravo.
Taxi to holding point runway 35 right. Via Bravo. Kazani 251. point runway 35 right. Via Bravo, Sasani 251. Kalamata Tower, Sasani 251, runway 35 right, ready for departure.
Sasani 251, wind 215 degrees at 5 knots. Runway 35 right, clear for takeoff.
Runway 35 right, clear for takeoff. Sasani 251.
Sasani 251, contact Kalamata radar 122.0.
Contact Kalamata Raid at 122.0. Sasani 251.
Lima, Golf Kilo, Lima, airport information, Foxtrot 1050, Zulu, weather, wind 215 at 5, visibility 10,000, sky condition 3,000, scattered temperature 18, QNH 1004, advise on initial contact, you have information, Foxtrot.
Continue climb 7,000.
Lima, Golf Kilo, Lima, airport information, Foxtrot 1050, Zulu, weather, wind 215 at 5, visibility 10,000, sky condition 3,000, scattered temperature 18, QNH 1004, advise on initial contact, you have information, Foxtrot. Lima Golf Kilo Lima Airport information Foxtrot 1050 Zulu weather wind 215 at 5 visibility 10,000 sky condition 3,000 scattered temperature 18 QNH 1004 advise on initial contact you have information Foxtrot Lima Golf Kilo Lima Airport information Foxtrot 1050 Zulu weather wind 215 at 5 visibility 10,000 sky condition 3,000 scattered temperature 18 QNH 1004 advise on initial contact you have information Foxtrot Lima Golf Kilo Lima Airport information Foxtrot 1050 Zulu weather wind 215 at 5 visibility 10,000 sky condition 3,000 scattered temperature 18 QNH 1004 advise on initial contact you have information Foxtrot Lima Golf Kilo Lima Airport information Foxtrot 1050 Zulu weather wind 215 at 5 visibility 10,000 sky condition 3,000 scattered temperature 18 QNH 1004 advise on initial contact you have information Foxtrot Lima Golf Kilo Lima Airport information Foxtrot 1050 Zulu weather wind 215 at 5 visibility 10,000 sky condition 3,000 scattered temperature 18 QNH 1004 advise on initial contact you have information Foxtrot Lima Golf Kilo Lima Airport information Foxtrot 1050 Zulu weather wind 215 at 5 visibility 10,000 sky condition 3,000 scattered temperature 18 QNH 1004 advise on initial contact you have information Foxtrot Lima Golf Kilo Lima Airport information Foxtrot 1050 Zulu weather wind 215 at 5 visibility 10,000 sky condition 3,000 scattered temperature 18 QNH 1004 advise on initial contact you have information Foxtrot Lima Golf Kilo Lima Airport information Foxtrot 1050 Zulu weather wind 215 at 5 visibility 10,000 sky condition 3,000 scattered temperature 18 QNH 1004 advise on initial contact you have information Foxtrot Lima Golf Kilo Lima Airport information Foxtrot 1050 Zulu weather wind 215 at 5 visibility 10,000 sky condition 3,000 scattered temperature 18 QNH 1004 advise on initial contact you have information Foxtrot Lima Golf Kilo Lima Airport information Foxtrot 1050 Zulu weather wind 215 at 5 visibility 10,000 sky condition 3,000 scattered temperature 18 QNH 1004 advise on initial contact you have information Foxtrot Lima Golf Kilo Lima Airport information Foxtrot 1050 Zulu weather wind 215 at 5 visibility 10,000 sky condition 3,000 scattered temperature 18 QNH 1004 advise on initial contact you have information Foxtrot Lima Golf Kilo Lima Airport information Foxtrot 1050 Zulu weather wind 215 at 5 visibility 10,000 sky condition 3,000 scattered temperature 18 QNH 1004 advise on initial contact you have information Foxtrot Lima, Golf Kilo, Lima, airport information, Foxtrot 1050, Zulu, weather, wind 215 at 5, visibility 10,000, sky condition 3000, scattered temperature 18, QNH 1004, advice on initial contact, you have information, Foxtrot. Lima, Golf Kilo, Lima, airport information, Foxtrot 1050, Zulu, weather, wind 215 at 5, visibility 10,000, sky condition 3000, scattered temperature 18, QNH 1004, advice on initial contact, you have information, Foxtrot. Lima, Golf Kilo, Lima, airport information, Foxtrot 1050, Zulu, weather, wind 215 at 5, visibility 10,000, sky condition 3000, scattered temperature 18, QNH 1004, advice on initial contact, you have information, Foxtrot.
Sasani 251. Turn left heading 055.
Lima, Golf Kilo, Lima, airport information, Foxtrot 1050, Zulu, weather, wind 215 at 5, visibility 10,000, sky condition 3000, scattered temperature 18, QNH 1004, advice on initial contact, you have information, Foxtrot.
Left heading 055. Sasani 251. Turn left heading 055. Lima, Golf Kilo, Lima, airport information, Foxtrot 1050, Zulu, weather, wind 215 at 5, visibility 10,000, sky condition 3000, scattered temperature 18, QNH 1004, advice on initial contact, you have information, Foxtrot.
Lima, Golf Kilo, Lima, airport information, Foxtrot 1050, Zulu, weather, wind 215 at 5, visibility 10,000, sky condition 3,000, scattered temperature 18, QNH 1004, advise on initial contact, you have information, Foxtrot.
Left heading 040, Sunny 251.
Lima, Golf Kilo, Lima, airport information, Foxtrot 1050, Zulu, weather, wind 215 at 5, visibility 10,000, sky condition 3,000, scattered temperature 18, QNH 1004, advise on initial contact, you have information, Foxtrot.
Sunny 251.
Lima,
Athens Center, Sunny 251. Passing 4,900, climbing to 7,000.
As well as cash. You can find our sky menu in the seat pocket in front of you. Please remain seated.
Sunny 251 identified. Continue climb 7,000. QNH 1004.
Thank you.
Continue climb 7,000. NH 1004. Sunny 251.
Sunny 251, turn left heading 075.
Left heading 075. Sunny 251.
Mistras or Mistras, also known as Misethras in the Chronicle of the Morea, is a fortified town and a former municipality in Laconia, Peloponnese, Greece. Situated on Mount Taygetos, near ancient Sparta, it served as the capital of the Byzantine Despotate of the Morea in the 14th and 15th centuries, experiencing a period of prosperity and cultural flowering. The site remained inhabited throughout the Ottoman period, when it was mistaken by Western travelers for ancient Sparta. In the 1830s, it was abandoned and the new town of Sparta was built, approximately 8 kilometers to the east. Since the 2011 local government reform, it is part of the municipality Sparta, of which it is a municipal unit.
Let's hope this one turns out pretty darn good, huh?
Athens Center. Sasani 251, request descent 5000.
Sasani 251, descend and maintain 5,000.
Descend and maintain 5000. Sasani 251.
Chania 251, turn right heading 195.
Right heading 195. Chania 251.
Chania 251, turn left heading 110.
Left heading 110. Chania 251.
Chania 251, turn left heading 075.
Left heading 075. Sony 251.
Chania 251, fly heading 180.
Fly heading 180. Sony 251.
The Epidoma Cave is a complex of 4 small caves located on the western shore of Mani Peninsula in southern Greece. A systematic investigation of the cave has yielded Neanderthal and Homo sapiens fossils from the Paleolithic era. One skull fossil, given the name Epidoma 1, shows a mixture of modern human and primitive features and has been dated to be more than 210,000 years old, older than a Neanderthal skull found at the cave, which for some interpretations makes Epidoma 1 the oldest proof of Homo sapiens living outside Africa, the second oldest being the maxilla from Mislia Cave, Mount Carmel, Israel, with a maximum age of about 190,000 years ago. Epidoma 1 is more than 150,000 years older than previous H. sapiens finds in Europe. Elefonisos. Is a small Greek island between the Peloponnese and Kythera. It lies off the coast of Cape Malea and Vatica. The area of the island is 19 square kilometers. The population is between 300 and 350 during the winter but increases dramatically in the summer months. During July and August, the number of tourist visitors reach over 3,000 per day, bringing with them some 1,600 cars. Many people visit the island for its light-colored, sandy beaches. Among the most well-known of its beaches are Sarakoniko, Frogos, and Panagas Misha, all filled with blue-green waters. Elefonisos is by far the largest inhabited island in the Peloponnese archipelago, and the only one that is a separate municipality. There are also some archaeological discoveries to explore on the island and in the surrounding waters. The main church of the community is Agio Spiridon, which is built on a tiny separate piece of land which is connected by a bridge over shallow waters to the rest of the island. The community's land area also includes 3 square kilometers of the mainland, consisting mainly of the famous Punta Beach. On the nearby mainland, approximately 6.5 kilometers east is Neapoli of the municipality of Vatica. About 8.5 kilometers south is Cape Frangos on the island of Kythera. In antiquity, Elefonisos did not constitute an island but a peninsula with the name Onougnathos, donkey's jawbone, according to Pausanias. Just off the coast of Elefonisos lies the archaeological site of Pavlopetri, a sunken city dating back to the early 3rd millennium BC and thought to have been claimed by the sea around 1000 BC. An important and protected wetland of the region, the Strogili Lagoon is a refuge for rare species of migratory birds and is part of the Natura Network and the Ramsar Convention on Wetlands of International Importance. Strogili is located on the opposite coast of the island, east of Punta, and its surface ranges from 300 to 600 acres, depending on the time of the year. It is a refuge for 132 species of birds such as flamingos, wild ducks, marsh harrier, etc. The lagoon includes, among other things, the rare and endangered species of sea cedars. In the western part of the lake, where the waters are deeper, aquatic birds are concentrated, while on the eastern side, where the waters are more shallow, smaller, waders inhabit the area. Both categories during spring migration stop at the lake, which is an important milestone in their long trip from Africa. Strogili is subject to the protection requirements laid down by the Ramsar Convention, and hunting here is banned.
Athens Center. Thessaloniki 251, request to send 4,000.
Thessaloniki 251, continue to send 4,000.
Continue to send 4,000. Thessaloniki 251.
Hydro 7736, descend flight level 1900.
Kythera is an island in Greece lying opposite the southeastern tip of the Peloponnese Peninsula. It is traditionally listed as one of the 7 main Ionian islands, although it is distant from the main group. Administratively, it belongs to the island's regional unit, which is part of the Attica region, despite its distance from the Saronic Islands, around which the rest of Attica is centered. The island is strategically located between the Greek mainland and Crete, and from ancient times until the mid-19th century was a crossroads of merchants, sailors, and conquerors. As such, it has had a long and varied history and has been influenced by many civilizations and cultures. This is reflected in its architecture, as well as the traditions and customs, influenced by centuries of coexistence of the Greek and Venetian cultures. There are archaeological remains from the Helladic period, contemporary with the Minoans. There is archaeological evidence of Kytheran trade as far as Egypt and Mesopotamia. Kythera had a Phoenician colony in the early Archaic Age. The sea snail which produces Tyrian purple is native to the island. Xenophon refers to a Phoenician bay in Kythera. The archaic Greek city of Kythera was at Scandia on Avlamonas. Its ruins have been excavated. Its Acropolis, now Palacastro, has the temple of Aphrodite Urania, who may well represent a Phoenician cult of Astarte. In classical times, Kythera was part of the territory of several larger city-states. Sparta took the island from Argos early in the 6th century and ruled it under Achaemenid. In Thucydides' time, Athens occupied it 3 times when at war with Sparta and used it both to support her trade and to raid Laconia. Kythera was independent and issued her own coins in 195 after the Achaean defeat of Sparta. In Augustus' time, it was again subject to Sparta, being the property of Gaius Julius Eurycles, who was both a Spartan magnate and a Roman citizen. By this time, the Greek cities were in practice subject to the Roman Empire. Kythera continued to exist under the Roman Empire and its Byzantine successor state for centuries. Christianity is attested from the 4th century AD, the time of Constantine. According to her legend, Saint Alessa came from Laconia to convert the island. Kythera is not mentioned in the literary sources for centuries after its conversion.
Contact at approach 122.1. Easy 19995.
1776, contact status, approach 122.1. 122.1. Flight is 7736.
Antikythera or Antikythera is a Greek island lying on the edge of the Aegean Sea, between Crete and Peloponnese. In antiquity, the island was known as Aegilia. Since the 2011 local government reform, it is part of the municipality of Kythera Island. Antikythera may also refer to the Kythera-Antikythera Strait, through which modified Mediterranean water enters the Sea of Crete. Its land area is 20.43 square kilometers. It is the most distant part of the Attica region from its heart in the Athens metropolitan area. Its main settlement and port is Potamos. The only other settlements are Galeniana and Charkaliana. Antikythera is a very important... The Antikythera wreck is a Roman-era shipwreck dating from the second quarter of the 1st century BC. It was discovered by sponge divers off Point Glyphadia on the Greek island of Antikythera in 1900. The wreck yielded numerous statues, coins, and other artifacts dating back to the 4th century BC, as well as the severely corroded remnants of a device many regard as the world's oldest known analog computer, the Antikythera mechanism. These ancient artifacts, works of art, and elements of the ship are now on display at the National Archaeological Museum of Athens. The Antikythera wreck is a Roman-era shipwreck dating from the second quarter of the 1st century BC. It was discovered by sponge divers off Point Glyphadia on the Greek island of Antikythera in 1900. The wreck yielded numerous statues, coins, and other artifacts dating back to the 4th century BC, as well as the severely corroded remnants of a device many regard as the world's oldest known analog computer, the Antikythera mechanism. These ancient artifacts, works of art, and elements of the ship are now on display at the National Archaeological Museum of Athens. Kythera Strait is a waterway off Kythera in southern Greece. The Kythera-Antikythera Strait is situated within the Western Hellenic Arc. It measures approximately 100 kilometers in length and is situated between the Peloponnese and the island of Crete. Many ships have sunk in the area, including HMS Greyhound, HMS Gloucester, and SS Ivernia. Navigational hazard. The Kythera Strait represents one of the most dangerous navigational hazards in the Mediterranean. The strait between Kythera and Cape Manias was found dangerous in ancient days by the Greek mariners. Most sea traffic from Athens, Istanbul, and the Black Sea to the central and western Mediterranean passes through the strait and are often subject to strong winds and shipwreck on Cape Manias. To circumvent this, the shorter and safer route via the Isthmus of Corinth has been used since classical antiquity, first through the use of the overland Theokos pathway and in modern times, through the Corinth Canal. Earthquakes and tsunami. The Kythera Strait, located within the Western Hellenic Arc, is subject to submergence on account of normal faulting which results in extensional deformation and rotation between two major segments of the external arc. According to Papadopoulos and Kishko, the Western Hellenic Arc has high seismic activity, resulting in deformations in the strait which are active. Here the seismic slip recorded is on the order of 0.3 centimeters/year. Also reported in the strait are earthquakes at shallow and intermediate depths, with surface wave magnitudes of up to 8.0. The Kythera Strait Tsunami Warning System, TWS, comprises two interrelated elements. One is based on the seismographic observations and the other is related to tide gauge recordings. SS Ivernia was a British ocean liner owned by the Cunard Line, built by the company Swan Hunter and Wigham Richardson of Newcastle upon Tyne, England, and launched in 1899. The Ivernia was one of Cunard's intermediate ships that catered to the vast immigrant trade. To Together with her sister ship RMS Saxonia, the Ivernia worked on Cunard service from Liverpool to Boston and then later on the immigrant run the Cunard line had established from Fiume and Trieste to New York City. Following the outbreak of World War I in August 1914, the Ivernia was hired by the British government as a troop transport. In autumn of 1916, William Thomas Turner was given command. On the 1st of January 1917, the Ivernia was carrying some 2,400 British troops from Marseille to Alexandria, when at 10:12 a.m. she was torpedoed by the German submarine UB-4758 miles southeast of Cape Matapan in Greece, in the Kathira Strait. The ship went down fairly quickly with a loss of 36 crew members and 84 troops. Captain Turner, who had been criticized for not going down with the Lusitania, remained on the bridge until all aboard had departed in lifeboats and rafts before striking out to swim as the vessel went down under his feet. HMS Rifleman rescued a number of survivors and armed trawlers towed the bulk, who had taken to lifeboats, to Suda Bay in Crete. Today Ivernia Road in Walton and Liverpool still bears the name of the doomed vessel. Gramvousa, also Grampusa, refers to two small uninhabited islands off the coast of a peninsula, also known Gramvousa Peninsula in northwestern Crete in the regional unit of Chania. The Gramvousa Peninsula forms the westernmost of the two pairs of peninsulae in northwestern Crete and is the western part of Kissamos Bay. The Gramvousa Islands are administered by the municipality of Kissamos. Imeri Gramvousa, which translates to tame Gramvousa, hosts the remains of a Venetian fort and the remains of buildings left behind by Cretan insurgents who were compelled to live as pirates during the Greek War of Independence. Today, Imeri Gramvousa is a popular tourist attraction. Agria Gramvousa, which translates to wild Gramvousa, is much less hospitable and is located due north of Imeri Gramvousa. It has also been named False Gramvousa. In ancient times, the larger island was known as Korikos, which means leather bag. The island was named Gramvousa in honor of Vousa, the wife of a pirate chief and the only inhabitant of the island to evade capture when the pirates were forcibly removed. The fort at Imeri Gramvousa was built between 1579 and 1584 during Venetian rule over Crete to defend the island from the Ottoman Turks. The fort remained in Venetian hands throughout the prolonged Cretan War, and in the Treaty of the 16th of September 1669, which surrendered Crete to the Ottomans, Gramvousa, along with the fortresses of Suda and Spinalonga, was retained by Venice. These three forts defended Venetian trade routes and were also strategic bases in the event of a new Ottoman-Venetian war. Gramvousa Peninsula is a peninsula at the northwestern end of the island of Crete, Greece. Anciently it was known as Korikos or Korikos, or Asimaros or Kamaros, although the latter is ascribed to the cape at the northern extremity of the peninsula. Strabo states that Korikos was the point whence the distances to the several ports of Peloponnesus were measured. We learn from Pliny that the islands which lie off this promontory were called Korikae, and that part of the mass of rock which forms this point went by the name of Mount Korikos. Ptolemy mentions a city also called Korikos, and there is a passage in which Juvenal mentions a Carytian vessel which evidently belonged to this Cretan town. When the Florentine traveller Cristoforo Buondelmonte visited the island in 1415, he found remains existing. Thalasana is a Greek harbour town at the west end of Crete that flourished during the Hellenistic period. The currently visible remains of the city include several imposing sandstone towers and bastions, with hundreds of meters of fortification walls protecting the town, and a closed harbour, meaning it is protected on all sides by city walls. The harbour is ringed by stone quays with mooring stones, and connected to the sea through two artificial channels. Notable finds in the harbour area include public roads, wells, warehouses, an altar, and baths. Most of these structures were revealed by excavations that began in 1986. The Acropolis is built on a cape that rises 90 meters above the harbour and juts into the sea. The Acropolis has many remains, including a temple dedicated to goddess Dictina, fortification towers, cisterns, wells, and watchtowers that could have been used to guard sea routes. Today Thalasana is an agricultural area and tourist attraction. The valley is filled with olive groves and greenhouses cultivating mainly tomatoes. There are also scattered family-run hotels and restaurants. The seaside has long sandy beaches and crystal clear waters that are popular both with residents of the province of Chania and visitors from Greece and abroad. Thalasana Beach was voted, in the CNN poll, among the best 100 beaches of the world. Sisamos or Kissamos was town of ancient Crete. It appears as one of two towns of the name in the Putinger table 32 MP to the west of Sidonia. The name appears as Sisamun in Pliny the Elder. Its site is located under modern Castello Kisimo, where travelers in the 19th century observed 14 or 15 fragments of shafts of marble and granite columns, an Ionic capital, and remains of walls, indicating that there once existed upon this site a flourishing and important city. The town was one of the two harbors of Pelourinea. The other harbor was Phalasana. In 69 to 67 BC, the latter city was destroyed by the Romans and Sesamos became the main port of Pelourinea. In the 1st century AD, Pelourinea lost importance, and it seems that many people from there moved to Sesamos. The town was enlarged on a street plan with grid pattern. Its legal status is disputed, but on the Putinger table it is one of only 4 major cities mentioned on Crete. There are only a few remains dating to the classical period at Sesamos. The excavations show that the town was heavily expanded at the beginning of the Roman rule. Rescue excavations of the last decades brought to light substantial remains of the town. These remains include parts of cemeteries, several bath houses and many urban villas, several of them well equipped with mosaics. There are remains of a temple and of a Christian church. Several high-quality statues were found in the town. Many of them come from the area of the theatre, others from the bath houses, but also from private houses. The town was heavily destroyed in the earthquake of 365. The city had a theatre and an amphitheatre. The remains were still visible in the 16th century, but were already gone in the 19th century. There is evidence due to an inscription for a Jewish community in the town.
Sony 251, expect ILS X-ray approach runway 29 right.
Expect ILS X-ray approach runway 29 right. Sony 251.
Sony 251, contact ILS approach 122.1.
122.1. Sony 251. Cloud and approach. Sony 251, 4,000. Sony 251, radar contact. When ready to send 2,400. NH1004. When ready to send 2,400. NH1004. Sony 251.
Malame Airport is an airport situated at Malame, Crete. It has 2 runways with no lights. The airport has closed for commercial aviation, but the Chania Aero Club continues to use it. The airport operated until 1959 as the main public airport of Chania. As of 2012, the Hellenic Air Force makes limited use of the facility. Malame Airport became a historic World War II site when many German parachutists and mountain troops landed there in May 1941 as part of the Battle of Crete. Platanias is a village and municipality on the Greek island of Crete. It is located about 10 kilometers west from the city of Chania and east of Kissamos, on. The seat of the municipality is the village Chania. Platanias is a popular tourism village with beaches, several hotels, restaurants, bars, nightclubs and souvenir shops. The area is especially popular with Scandinavian tourists with the season running from April to October. Not far from the coast is the island of Agia Theodoroi. The area has grown so much that now is essentially a suburb of Chania. Platania's village is built on a hill with fantastic sea views. On summer evenings, the large entertainment area flooded with people, Greeks and foreigners, who have fun until the morning. Platania's is one of the most popular tourist resorts in Crete. Agia Theodoroi are two uninhabited islets off the coast of western Crete. One is named Agia Theodoros, also called Theodorou, and the islet a few meters further north is called Mikros Agia Theodoros. Administratively, they are part of the municipality of Platanias, in Chania regional unit. Cree inhabit Agia Theodoros. Anciently, the islands were known as Koit or Koite and Akaitos. In 1930, the municipality of Agia Marina with the cooperation of the Hunting Association of Chania decided to make the islands a nature reserve. It was in 1935 that Theodoros Viglis caught one male and two female Cree in Samaria Gorge. Chania Lighthouse is a lighthouse located at the entrance of the port of Chania on the island of Crete, Greece. It was built in 1864 on the site of the original lighthouse by the Venetians. It has been a listed archaeological site in Greece since 1962. History. Chania Lighthouse was originally a naval post created by the Venetians that would protect the city from oncoming Turks or pirates. In 1645, the Turks took control of the city, during which the lighthouse was left to ruins. Egyptian troops, who were aiding the Ottoman Empire in protecting Crete, rebuilt the lighthouse in 1864. Only the base of the original lighthouse remains. In May 1915, a fixed white light was installed, marking it as an official lighthouse in Greece's network. The lighthouse suffered damage in World War II and was refurbished in 2006. Characteristics. The lighthouse is a stone masonry tower rising 26 meters above the bay below. At the top there is a gallery and light that flashes red each 2.5 seconds. Triada Monastery, or the Monastery of Agia Triad at Sangaronon, is a Greek Orthodox monastery in the Akrotiri Peninsula in the Chania regional unit, Crete, Greece. It also contains a museum. The monastery, whose name means Holy Trinity, was built in the 17th century by two brothers of the Venetian Zangaroli family on the site of a pre-existing church. The monks produce and sell wine and olive oil on the premises. The church is built in the Byzantine architectural cruciform style with 3 domes. Arkaudioutissa is a cave in the municipality of Akrotiri on the Greek island of Crete. From Gouvenito Monastery, the path to the cave is only accessible by foot. Arkaudioutissa is noted for its stalagmite, which is said to look like a bear. This cave is believed to have been used for worship since ancient times, but was dedicated to the Arkaudioutissa Panaya during the Christian era. Ascetics lived in the caves in the area. Further along the path, after a descent of 140 steps, is the Catholicon, the 3rd monastery, now abandoned. It is believed to date from the 5th or 6th century, founded by St. John the Hermit. It is built into the cliff, with a unique church largely carved into the rock face. This striking set of buildings is now overgrown with fig trees but retains significant charm.
Left heading 085. Sunny 251. Sunny 251. Turn left heading 070. Left heading 070. Sunny 251. Sunny 251, turn right heading 105. Right heading 105. Sunny 251. Sunny 251, turn right heading 195. Right heading 195. Sunny 251. Sunny 251, turn right heading 255. Right heading 255. Sunny 251. Sunny 251, turn right heading 260. Cleared ILS X-ray approach runway 29 right. Support established on localizer. Right heading 260. Cleared ILS X-ray approach report established on localizer. Sunny 251. Easy 8223, descend 2,400.
Descend 2,400. Easy 8223.
Sunny 251, established on localizer. Sunny 251, continue approach. We'll continue approach. Sunny 251. Austrian 90137, descend 2,400, C180.
Descend 2,400. C180. Austrian 90137.
Sasani 251, contact Data Tower 118.125. Data Tower 118.125, Sasani 251. Data Tower, Sasani 251, final 290 right.
Sasani 251, wind 275 degrees at 10 knots. Clear to land. Runway 29 right.
Clear to land. Runway 29 right. Sasani 251.
Sasani 251, when vacated, contact ground 121.7.
Indicated contact ground 121.7. Sasani 251.
28223, 285 degrees at 109. Clear to land. Run, 29 left. Clear to land. Runway 29 left. Easy 8223.
251, runway vacated.
Sony 251, taxi to stand 28. I Bravo hold short of runway 11 right, 29 left.
Taxi to stand 28. Via Bravo, hold short of runway 11 right, 29 left. Sony 251.
Sony 251, contacts out of tower 118.125.
Contacts out of tower 118.125. Sony 251. Out of tower. Sony 251. Request cross runway 11 right, 29 left. Out of ground. Sony 251, runway vacated.
Austrian 9137, contacts out of tower 118.125.
Out of ground. Sony 251, runway vacated.
Sony 251, continue taxi, via Bravo.
Out of ground. Sony 251, runway vacated. Out of ground. Sony 251, runway vacated.
Sony 251, continue taxi, via Bravo. Austrian 9137, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Austrian 9137.
Out of ground. Sony 251, runway vacated.
Scandinavian 7382, contacts out of tower 118.125.
Out of ground. Sony 251, runway vacated. 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 Out of ground. Sony 251, runway vacated.
Scandinavian 7382, continue taxi, via Bravo. Taxi, via Bravo. Scandinavian 7382.
Out of ground. Sony 251, runway vacated.
Scandinavian 7382, contacts out of tower 118.125. Solo 3530, taxi to stand 12, via Bravo hold short of runway 11 right, 29 left.
Taxi to stand 12, via Bravo hold short of runway 11 right, 29 left, from Solo 3530.
Out of ground. Designing 251, runway vacated.
France, Solo 3530, contact South Tower 118 decimal 125.
118 decimal 125, from Solo 3530.
Asani 251, taxi to stand 28, via Charlie Bravo hold short of runway 11 left, 29 right.
Taxi to stand 28, via Charlie Bravo, hold short of runway 11 left, 29 right. Kazani 251.
Air 35514, clear for push and engine start. Push and engine start approved. Air 35514.
Out of ground, from Solo 3530, runway vacated.
Air 35514, request entry. Air 35514, taxi to holding point runway 29 right, via Bravo hold short runway 11 right, 29 left. Taxi to holding point runway 29 right, via Bravo hold short runway 11 right, 29 left, Air 35514. Solo 3530, continue taxi. Fly Bravo.
Continue taxi, via Bravo, from Solo 3530.